can you save money by buying fruit and vegetable boxes like this one and having them delivered compared to what you would pay if you went and did it yourself? Today I'm going to give you an honest, unsponsored review of a Farmer's Direct, which I have never tried before. We're going to look at what's in the box. It's the first time I've done this, and I'm going to take you along, break down all the prices, and show you what's in there. So let's go. So here is the giant box that was delivered to my doorstep this morning. Again, this is not sponsored. I paid with my own dollars for this, and I'm going to give you the full cost breakdown in just a second. What I really like though about this, and I'll show you all the yummy things that were in the box when it got delivered. It was delivered in a normal box, but it was refrigerated, and I had given them the option to leave it on my doorstep, even though I was working from home today. I will be trying in the future some meal kit type delivery services, which I have actually, hand on heart, in my whole life never done. But I love my fruits and vegetables. You know, when you've seen me cook here on the channel, I use a lot of fresh fruits. We eat a lot of fruit, and I eat a lot of vegetables. I use that even though I'm not completely plant-based. We eat vegetables, and I use them a lot in cooking from scratch. So I wanted to compare it, and just for transparency, this is completely not sponsored. I paid with my own money for this, and the total cost for this, which is the medium-sized box, it weighed just over 10 kilos worth of produce, and it was a mix of fruit and vegetables. So the box itself cost $47, and then I paid $9.95 for postage, which takes me to $56.95 for this whole box. And again, because you don't know exactly what you're gonna get, it can be a little bit of a gamble to see what's in there. Now, one thing I really like that they offer, and I know a lot of sort of meal kit services do this, is that you can put in your order. Firstly, you can do this weekly, fortnightly, monthly, so you don't have to get them every single week if that's not your thing. So I'm going to give this a go for a couple of months and try it on a fortnightly basis, because there's a lot of stuff in here. Some things will go through faster, some more slowly. So it really does depend what you eat in your household. Now, one thing I really liked with this service, which I know other services also offer, is that you can put down things in your order that you do not want. So for example, if you don't eat kale, if you don't eat certain vegetables, if you don't like avocados, you can put them on the don't list in your order, and they won't send you anything like that. I personally really just wanted to give them no restriction and just see what was in the box and just see what they would give me, because the whole idea with the service like this is to give you seasonal produce and to give you things that have been rejected by the supermarkets. So again, completely unsponsored. Hop over to their website. I will link it below the description of this video so you can check it out if you're interested. The reason I wanted to try this is a couple of reasons. One, I like to save money, and I wanted to do this as an experiment to see if I would save money by doing it this way versus going to a normal supermarket. The other thing I really love is variety. I love cooking with different ingredients, and I love challenging myself every couple of weeks to cook a new recipe or use ingredients I don't normally do. In this particular order, there were quite a few things that I don't actually normally cook with. There was bok choy, so Chinese cabbage. There was parsnip, which I have cooked with but very rarely use. And there was kale. I used to have a bunny, an indoor pet bunny, for many years named Rufus. My friends watching the channel, you know Rufus well. He used to love kale, so I used to buy kale all the time, but it was for my bunny, not for myself. However, I do have a zucchini bake that I often make in this channel with spinach, and I made it just in a recent video with you. So what I will do, because I got a bunch of zucchini in this order, is I'm gonna make it according to the recipe with the kale and the zucchini in it. So I will absolutely find a use for the zucchini. But I'm thinking for that bok choy, what I will do is I'll probably use that and some of the mushroom and some of the onion and do that as a stir fry or a noodle dish maybe. So anyway, it helps me get a little bit creative with the things that I try. And on the fruit side of things, I got apples, which I love, pears, which I like and don't eat that often. So, you know, I'm like, oh, great, we've got some pears. Then I got a decapon, which I'm assuming is a kind of orange. I'm gonna have to Google exactly what this is, but it looks like a really knobbly orange. So we're gonna give this a go. I only got one of them and it's very big. And then I got a bunch of these smaller oranges, and I'm not sure if they're regular oranges or blood oranges. So I guess we'll open and have a look. We typically prefer mandarins to oranges because I find them just easier to peel and eat. But you know, this is going to be really good. It's cold and wintry in Melbourne, so some vitamin C is always good during cold and flu season. So what's the verdict then? Do I save money by doing it this way? I've got all the prices here, and just for transparency, I used Coles online, so coles.com.au prices per kilo, because I don't have access right this minute to all the Aldi per kilo prices. Naturally, these will be standard supermarket prices. It won't be if it's on clearance, right? So, but what I did is I weighed out all the items that I got in this box, and it was actually over 10 kilos, 10.19 kilos, which is quite a lot of fruit and veg, right? Anyway, and I worked off the per kilo price, and my total, if I would have gone to Coles and bought these things, by the way, I couldn't find some things like that weird orange thing that I showed you before, but if I actually just priced it as a normal orange, which might be cheaper than it is. But anyway, I did my very best to price this out on Coles, and it came to a total for these items of $65.64. Now, I said at the start of this video that I paid $56.95. So that's about 10 bucks cheaper to get this delivered versus if I would have bought the same things at the supermarket. Which begs the question, Emmy, would you have bought the same things at the supermarket? Probably not. I can't say that I've ever bought bok choy in my whole life, but I will find a good recipe. If you have a good one, let me know down there in the comments. I might need your help with this. But I'm really glad that I did give this a go, and I am going to keep doing this for another couple of weeks. Again, not sponsored, my own money, but I like the idea because I work from home pretty often, so getting it delivered to my house means that, you know, the doorbell rings and I can just go and get it, and then we will gradually mix things up. Now, because my husband and I both don't love kale, I think what I'm going to do for future orders is ask him and sit down, and we're just going to add anything that we don't really want to get delivered to our don't send us this list. But I'm pretty excited. I mean, a $10 saving for pretty much exactly the same stuff at Coles, and even though Coles is more expensive than Aldi, I reckon for the same items, this is probably still a touch cheaper than you would get the same items at Aldi. One thing I really like about this particular company and why I was keen to try it out is because supermarkets like things that are uniform in shape and size, and pretty much all of these items here would not have been sold at your normal supermarket. Now, I know both Coles and Woolworths have like the Odd Bunch brand, and I can't remember what it's called at Coles, but it's basically those things that are odd sizes and wouldn't pass a normal supermarket test. So in some places, in my Woolies, for example, they sell the Odd Bunch stuff, and it is usually quite a bit cheaper than the normal produce, which is what I priced out here today. But I like the idea that by doing this, it's coming from fairly local farmers, it's regional produce, it hasn't traveled very far, and it's stuff that would otherwise struggle to find a home or potentially even go to waste altogether. So I don't mind if the tomatoes have a couple of little marks on them. I don't mind if I'm getting something that I wouldn't normally buy, but I love the idea that it's not going to waste, it's not going to landfill, and it's going to turn into some healthy meals in my house. So let me know what you thought of that verdict. Have you tried something like this, and or have you tried those full meal kit things, you know, like HelloFresh and whatever they're all called? I have never tried one of those. Let me know down there in the comments if you do that regularly, and or if you've tried it and if you think I should try it, because I would be very happy to pay with my own money and give it a go. Because in the end of the day, I actually most often I enjoy cooking or making healthy meals from scratch, and I know a lot of those meal kits offer that option, including gluten-free options that would suit myself and my husband. But let me know down there in the comments what you thought. Let me know if you're going to give these guys a go, and if you are in Australia and you know of other ones similar to this, let me know, because I do love doing these sort of testing things out and giving you an honest review. I will also, if I've had a chance to cook some of the meals that I'm planning with these ingredients, I will include them on the screen here. But as you know, in this channel already, we do a lot of potato, we do a lot of carrot, we do a lot of onion. I use zucchini almost weekly. I eat apples every day. So most of the things that I got in this box are absolutely going to be used up very soon.